This guy's got such a shriveled up face.
Would do something so self-serving.
But how does it serve them to hurt you?
Just political gain. I mean, these are their policies that are, and I don't mean to get political. I don't really want to make any enemies, really. Although I guess I have already. But I mean, these are their policies that have clearly not worked. That the people, the general population, are not in support of. Yet their egos are too big just to admit that they're wrong.
I mean, unfortunately, he is wrong, or sorry, he is correct. He's not wrong on the underlying sentiment here, which is that like liberal institutional attempts to address homelessness and that sort of thing have wretchedly failed. You know, like their methods are criminally ineffective. It's just obviously like the right wingers would be like, well, what we really need to do is we need to put them in a blender, and the real answer is we need housing first policies to so on and so forth. But you know, I mean that is true. Like I stand by my position that a core radicalizing factor in people between 2020 and 2024, like in a post-COVID America, is seeing all of these like urban decay conditions rapidly accelerate and liberals doing nothing to address it. And they won't even talk about it because it's their policies who are failing. Republicans at least have like a plan. Their plan's terrible, but at least they talk about it. They acknowledge the urban decay. Liberals don't acknowledge the urban decay. Like liberals will see videos of homeless people in the streets of Seattle, or like a homeless crazy guy on the New York Metro being crazy, and they'll be like, yeah, man, that's just how it is. And like, okay, that could be true. That is how it is, kind of tautological, not necessarily, you know, incorrect, but you're not addressing the issue. Is there evidence of people becoming substantially more radicalized in that time frame between 2020 and 2024? I mean, there's the election results, I guess. But yeah, if you want to look at like how much people are worried about things like urban decay, it's 100% gone up in the past 4 years. What a shocker that right after murdering a black homeless person, he's starting his big right-wing media tour. I mean, obviously he's going to go on the news network full of people who are more sympathetic to what he did, you know. I'm sure he's going to end up being a Fox News host or something, but I'm mostly just talking about the underlying forces here. He's not wrong on that part. You can't get over that. Isn't he also getting sued? Yeah, by the father of Jordan Neely. I'm trying to see if I can find that other. You see the clip of that guy like feigning punches on the subway. Here, I found it. Stuff like this. Okay, so I think this is indicative of the problem. I finally found it. I was looking. That's why I was talking slow. Okay, so somebody posted this video, and they're basically saying, "Don't you wish Daniel Penny was around to stop it?" By which he means like, don't you wish somebody was here to murder the crazy homeless guy that I'm about to show you? Obviously, black crazy homeless guy. You know, of course, you know what the disposition is here, right? And obviously, that's the wrong take. That being said, I've noticed that like in the culture war that has propagated as a consequence of this video, most left-leaning people or most liberals are basically just saying, well, yeah, deal with it or you're a bitch. That's the New York City subway, you know? Or they're like, well, your conservatives are scared of everything. And watching the video, I'm not necessarily saying you should be so scared you should murder the guy. However,
Stop it.
I feel like I don't have to be a conservative to say that this is unacceptable behavior in a public transportation. Like, okay, let's roll it back just a second, okay? I don't think that, and I grew up in LA, I've seen people act like this. I don't think the response here should be to literally murder this man. That seems a bit overboard. That being said, if I was exposed to stuff like this pretty often, and the liberal attempts at addressing this kind of urban decay, and this is a component of urban decay, by the way, if liberal attempts to address it had just failed or gone nowhere, and liberals were even like, they wouldn't even like acknowledge it, and Republicans would, I could see people getting radicalized by that, you know? This literally happened to me a couple weeks ago on the bus. A rando came up and feigned sucker punching me. I chose not to react at all. Instead of fighting back, and bro didn't know what to do, went back to his seat. De-escalation's always the answer. Yeah, agree. You should never engage. Unless they, like, draw a weapon or start actually attacking you or something, in which case you pull out the vaunted subway gun that you keep stored in your asshole at all times. But yeah, like, obviously this shouldn't happen at all, right? I don't know. Yeah, Fault Knight, it's not about like defending the Daniel Penny response to this, but can you all understand how experiencing stuff like this and seeing liberals not talk about it or downplaying it, and see conservatives say like this is fucked up, can you see how that might pull a person rightward? This is literally not even like a conservatives are correct kind of deal. This is just at least they acknowledge that it's an issue. And it is an issue. Look at this, man. This guy's crazy, probably high out of his mind and homeless, and he's still dressed better than you guys. Proper fit, no conflict in the ruffling and the material in the long and short sleeve shirt, pants cropped at a tasteful length. You people look like shit compared to this guy. Well, what matters is that he's having fun. It takes actual education and understanding to look at that homeless man and say, I want to give him a home to solve this. Yeah, but I don't think the average random civilian in New York City should be concerned with that at all. I think the politicians in New York City should have fixed this. Like that, I don't think the solution to this is like everyone. I think it's normal to be like repulsed and disgusted by a guy acting like that in public transport. I think that's fine. I think that's normal. Like, yeah, that seems like a default response. Like, you've gone most of your life, people around you are obeying the social contract, and then you go on the subway and there's some guy who's just doing like right in front of your face, like the guy from the last episode of season 1 of Smiling Friends. And you're just supposed to like, oh, well, okay, this is because of like, this is because of sociology. This is because of sociology. And you just have to go like, yeah, okay, I understand. This is because of like numbers or like maybe like housing prices or something. Meanwhile, you're getting like gusts of wind to your face every time he stops. Like I understand why this freaks people out. I think that's normal. And you know, these cities are run by, you know, by liberals. Didn't Jordan Neely himself like assault an old lady and he wasn't even kept in prison after? Like, they tried to get him rehabilitation, but he just walked out. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to walk out of that. If you punch an old lady and they get you into like, I don't know, some kind of rehabilitation program, I feel like you shouldn't get to walk out. Bro's out of breath, Lamau. Yeah, I'm out of shape. What do you want to do? What are you going to do? Make fun of a guy with glasses? Look, my Peloton's coming in soon, okay? You're going to see. You're going to see. We'll work on those punches. Yeah. Yeah, I've been working out at the library. Thank you. You need to keep your chin tucked and have your hands closer to your cheeks. All right, everyone. Okay. I see that you were doing a funny bit there. However, have you considered that you've neglected your years of boxing training in it? No. It doesn't matter whether or not it was being done to illustrate a bit. Okay? Everything should have been lined up. It'd be like if a guy used to do soccer and then I do like a little like runabout bit for a joke and people are like, what are you doing? That wasn't the proper hip rotation for a quick turnabout like that. Are you insane? If you pulled that one out there in the field, you would have lost meters of distance. I use meters because we're talking about soccer. Make sure to keep your feet moving. Why? Yeah, why you use the box? Why are you pretending to punch the camera? What's your footwork look like? Oh, you're telling me you kept your feet planted while you punched the camera? Are you insane? But Vosh, when someone doesn't wear knitted twill overcoats. Knitted twill? Somebody doesn't know what those words mean. Ooh. Sorry. I felt genuinely afraid when you punched the camera. That was all of my boxing instruction, like conveyed to when Saitama punched Genos, you know? We're just looking out for you, but in a real situation, the camera would have obviously won. Okay. All right.